What's going on, guys? My name is Nick Sakha, and in today's video, I'm talking to you about how to crush the first 30 seconds of your cold calls. A little bit about myself. I own a few insurance offices here in Las Vegas, Nevada. We specialize in property and casualty, and we have scaled to about a $5 million book. Every year, we've written about $1 million every year. With the exception of this year and last year, we're on pace to write about $1.5 million. But I'm going to be transparent. When I first started in this industry, for about the first 3.5, maybe 4 years, we weren't telemarketing properly. It wasn't until last year when I connected with my friend Ryan, who happens to own a company called Agency CPR, where we got our telemarketing on point and we started doing it the right way. And that's what we're going to go over today. The right way to make cold calls, the right way to get these insurance quotes, the right way to keep people on the phone. And so make sure you destroy the like button if you get some value. Let's go over the do's and don'ts. All right, so the very first tip to crushing your cold calls, at least the first 30 seconds of it, is to make sure, write this down, do not have an HSP. What does an HSP stand for? A horrible shit pause. Some of you guys may have gotten a telemarketing call from somewhere, somebody somewhere, and the moment you answer that call, there is a pause between whenever you say hello and them answering, your call. So, in other words, if I get a call from a telemarketer right now and I go hello, there's usually like a pause. 1, 2, hi, Mr. Nick Sakha, and that pause ruins that telemarketing call. It does. And so, this was a tip that I got from my buddy Ryan over at Agency CPR. Do not have an HSP in your call. So you need to be prepared. What does that mean? Be prepared for whenever your prospect, whenever that internet lead, whenever that person answers the phone, you are prepared with their name, you are prepared with their information, you are just prepared. You're not on your phone, you're not, distracted, you are ready to go. So if somebody says, ring, ring, hello, hi Nick, this is Frank over at InsureTech or whatever, and you are prepared to go and you are jumping right into that thing and you're not waiting. The worst thing you can do is have somebody say hello twice, or if you're not prepared, or if you're misspelling their name, or you're saying their name wrong, or all these different things. Make sure you are prepared, and that as soon as they answer the phone, boom, you're starting that call. And so that's the number one tip. That's the first tip, is no HSP. Tip number 2 is to be prepared, to be assumptive, and to be energetic. Those are 3 tips into one. What do I mean by being prepared? So,
yeah, be prepared. Yeah, we'll be prepared. For what?
You're looking at the lead information. You have their name, their address, their car, their date of birth, all this stuff. And the lead says Michael Jackson, okay? What are you going to say as soon as that person answers? If it is a male, be assumptive. That is Michael. It's who else would be answering Michael's phone number? Okay, so you're not going to ask, hey, is this Michael? You're not going to ask, hey, hey, am I speaking with Michael? No, you were assuming that is Michael. Otherwise, it's just safe to say that if he answered the phone, that's Michael, right? So, hey, Michael, this is Nick over at State Farm. Hey, Michael, this is Nick over at Geico. I was giving you a call. I got that quote that you requested. I just need to make sure you're still living at that 123 Main Street. You still there? You've got to be very assumptive. You've got to be energetic, and you've got to be prepared. So tip number 2 is be assumptive. If it's let's just say it's a woman that answers the phone, then it's safe to say that that's Michael Jackson's wife, right? Hey, Mrs. Jackson, this is Nick over at Allstate. Hey, Mrs. Jackson, this is Nick over at Farmers Insurance. I got that quote that you requested. Boom, 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 right? So be assumptive, be prepared. You're not asking, hey, is right now a good time to get you that quote? Hey, if I could just, do you have time to go over this quote right now? You've got to be assumptive. They answered the phone. That's why I said with tip number 1, have the mentality that they have time to go over that quote right then and right there. So what I said about having energy is you want to mirror the client. You want to mirror them. So if they answer the phone like, hello, you want to be quick. Hey, Michael, this is Nick over at State Farm. Hey, Michael, this is Nick over at so-and-so. And, and here's another tip, is not to use their last name and to is this Michael Fletcher, right? Like, is this, no, hey, Mike, you want to sound like you're their friend. You want to sound like, you want to kind of confuse them to really have them thinking do I know this person? You know, because you had so much energy. You know, how do you address your friends, right? If when you see your friends, it's like, Dave, what's going on, man? What's up? You know, and you know, that's how you acknowledge your friends. But all of a sudden, when you get on a cold call or telemarketing, you're like, hi, may I speak with blah, 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 blah. Like, that doesn't work, right? People like to deal with people that they think are their friends and people that they think that they know. And so that's how, that's my tip, is mirroring the client. If they answer the phone and go, hello, you want to be pretty quick with it. There's probably a sense of urgency that you need to get to the point, particularly quickly in those first 30 seconds if they're answering the phone that fast. Now, if they're talking a little bit slower, maybe they're a little bit older and they're talking this slow and they answer the phone like, hello, right? You can slow it down a little bit. So, hey, John, this is Nick over at insurance company. I was giving you a call. Looks like you requested a blah, 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 blah. You're still living at 123 Main Street, or you're still driving that Ford Escape, right? You know, so you can mirror the client to a certain extent. However, always be 1 or 2 energy levels above their energy, just because you don't want to completely mirror the energy of certain clients. Some clients are like waking up, they're like, hello, and you don't want to be like, hey, I was giving you a call for that. You know, so, you know, obviously you want to be a couple notches above the energy of the person that you're calling. So that's my tip there. And this goes without saying, you do want to be extremely confident on these calls, right? You know, you got to have thick skin. You want to be more certain than they are certain on shutting you down. And so you want to be extremely confident. And what I mean by that is, this is, you know, be able to express and radiate that, Mr. or Mrs. Client, this is going to be so worth your time. You're going to love that we did this. I'm so glad I got a hold of you. You want to be confident. You want to be positive. You want to be charming on these phone calls, because you don't want to sound like you're a telemarketer. So yes, you want to be confident. You want to make it, you want to be able to express to them that this is going to be quick. This is going to be, you're going to be so glad that you did this. I'm so glad I got a hold of you. And let's jump into, you still living there at 123 Main Street. So kind of goes without saying. Hopefully that will help you guys with your cold calling. So if you stuck through this far, do me a huge favor and smash the like button if you got some value. And check out all my other content on self-development, entrepreneurship, and insurance, as well as follow me on my social media platforms as well. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.